Hi guys! Okay, so we have New Year 2021 and here I am. I'm trying my best in my new channel. We'll see how it goes. I think I've recorded with my face only once in my life on YouTube. So it's something new for me, I guess. But it's so small, like I can't even see myself here. So I think my main content here will be recording Magic the Gathering game. Like, of course, if you're looking at this channel, you know what it is, but I can do the review of this game and everything. Yeah, and as you could observe, I have strong accents because I'm not native speaker. I'm Polish. Another question: why I'm recording English if I'm Polish? See, with the game Magic the Gathering, I was thinking, should I record in English or in Polish, right? But with this game in Poland, it's like we have a lot of players of Magic the Gathering in Poland, but the thing is that I think only people who can speak English play this game, right? Because we have no Polish translation, so like obviously only people who can understand English will play this game, right? So I was thinking, okay, if let's say we have Polish players, they would rather watch like English YouTubers or something because like it's even easier, you know, to understand the mechanism of the game and stuff like that in English because like the translation would be just pain in ass, really. So yeah, here I am. Like if I will find some Polish people on my viewers on my channel, I can do the Polish videos as well. But for now, I'll try my best in English. So I decided to get the 5 different lands, like 5 main colors, which is blue, red, white, black, and forest green. And with these colors, my dog will decide what deck should I play and show you my main decks, right? So my dog Jazz will choose the color. And yeah, I will talk about this thing. What? Ah, goodbye. Alright, so I have some quests for you. Okay, you have to pick the color, right? I know that you're bad in recognizing colors, of course, but you have to choose color. Which one? Can you choose another one? Because you just... Okay, he snipped the blue color. I will choose another color then. Yeah, that's how I suppose... Okay, we have... Oh yeah. I have one blue color deck, only main mon blue, but it's not mine though. Oh, it's Flying Beach and Mill Yourself. And Escape, it's more like... I have to really update this deck, like, it's bad. I think I didn't retest it, you know, so I have to retest it and then change some cards. So we'll talk about my meal deck. There's 2 main ways how you can win the game, unless you have like special cards, but there is like the specific card gives you the rules or whatever how to win the game. Like let's say, oh, you have to get like let's say 35 lives and something blah blah blah. Like there's special cards. I can do another video about it, but for now we'll focus on 2 main ways how to win the game. One is like the obvious one, to make the damage to the player and leave the player without life. So basically the game is over when your opponent or whatever, if you will lose all of your life, right? And yeah, that's the main game, but I think that's the main way. I have 60 cards in the deck, but like I prefer to have more all the time. I don't know, like I don't care about this. It's not really limit, but it's recommendation, you know. But actually, for now, it's even better to have more cards because of the mill, right? Of course, if you have more cards, it's harder to mill summon. So yeah, my stats. Okay, I have 25 creatures and 11 non-creatures, which is funny because I always put too many non-creatures cards such as enchantments and stuff like that, but like I think for milling the opponent it's very important to have creatures which focus on mill, you know, not like attacking, because what the hell, why you're supposed to attack players in mill deck, right? This deck needs to be updated as well. I removed some cards because it was my experiment deck. But yeah, I think it's pretty done, and my rate of winning is pretty good. So to be honest, I don't really like mill decks, but I had to do it because it's something different, right? Mill, in my opinion, is slow. Okay, so my first card, Merfolk Secret Keeper. So it costs only 1 mana, which is 1 blue mana, so it's so easy to play. And it's adventure, and adventure is pretty cool because you can choose, you can decide what you want to play first. Of course, remember that Sorcery and Instants, you have to play them first. You can't play first creature and then instant in adventure card, because that's not how the system works in this game. But yeah, actually it's pretty cool because that's what I said. You can decide if you want to play instant Sorcery or whatever, or the actual creature or whatever another option is in this card, right? Mill deck, I think it's very important to have blockers, because you want to survive. You want to keep the game as long as possible, you can lose, so you have to protect yourself somehow from the bigger, stronger creatures or even destroys. So it's important to have blockers in this deck, it doesn't have any life, any power, but it has 4 life, so it's pretty strong to kill actually. So yeah. And also the another option, adventure option, is to mill 4 cards, which is great to make your mill faster. And in my opinion, you should mill as fast as possible the opponent, because if your start will be slow, then it's pretty sure that you will lose. Merfolk Wind Robber. This card is good card as well for the mill deck, because it costs only 1 mana. It's flying, so you can make the damage faster, because you have to have answer for flying creature. So, and it's great card to support the mill technique, because every time it attacks you and it actually makes the damage to a player, then the opponent will mill the cards, right? So that's great. And for example, if you're struggling and let's say someone is attacking you, and so you can for example block with this card and use its ability to sacrifice this creature, and then you can draw a card. So you can, if you're struggling, you can find another answer. So it's pretty good. Of course, you can use this ability wherever you want, not only when you're blocking the creature. To activate this ability, your opponent has to have 8 or more cards in the graveyard, which is not that hard in the mill deck, right? So yeah, I have 3 copies of this card. Yeah, it's pretty good, I would say. But another one, I think mill started being more and more popular after Zendika Rising, because they introduced this card, Ruin Crab, which is great and pain in ass if you're playing against the mill deck, right? Because it costs only 1 mana, which is great. It's great blocker as well. How the Ruin Crab works. Basically, Zendika Rising, one of the main actions, techniques or whatever of Zendika Rising set was landfall, right? Landfall works you put the land on the map, not on the map, on the battlefield. The ability of the specific cards, why you're bugging me? What I was talking about, you're distracting me, will appear on your battlefield. Then the ability of specific creature will be activated. So that's great. And so if you have your Drain Crab on your battlefield and you're putting land on it, then the opponent is milling 3 cards, which is great. And imagine having 4 Ruin Crabs on the battlefield, and what? You're milling 12 cards, which is great. Zulaport Duelist. This card is also from the Zendika Rising, and it's great because it does have flash. It basically works like instant, so you can play it on the opponent's turn. So you can surprise the enemy with this card, which is great. It costs only 1 mana, so let's suspect it's the beginning of the game. and you have no creatures on the battlefield, but you have this 1 mana, and it's his opponent's turn, the opponent is playing something, and it's attacking you, and then you're playing fucking flash card and destroying it, that, right? When it goes on the battlefield, it gives to the chosen creature -2, this creature has -2 power. It also mills the opponent's cards, so you know it just supports the technique as well, the mill technique. This is, I think it's from my favorite set actually. It's M21 set, which it wasn't this year, of course. Thieves Guild Enforcer. It's great card as well for it's the top card for the mill deck, and you're supposed to have this card in your deck as well. It's flash card, so you can surprise the enemy with this card during the opponent's turn, right? Every time when another rogue comes on the battlefield, and mill deck has a lot of rogues, it's just basically based on the rogue's card type, right? Then the opponent mills the cards, right? Mills 2 cards actually. So yeah, it's pretty strong card. But in addition, if opponent has 8, yes, if opponent has 8 or more cards, then it's getting +2 power and +1 life, and it has Death Touch. So you know, Death Touch is amazing. I love Death Touch in the game because like it's the late game. It's the late game so strong actually, because people are afraid to attack you unless they have Fast Strike. But yeah, so yeah, it's like the top card in the middle deck. Drawing a lock. I'm not sure, but this is like fucking son of the bitch card. Really, like it's just broken because it costs only 2 mana, 1 blue and 1 black, and it's instant, so you can use it wherever you want. And it's only good in the middle deck. I will explain you why. But like you can either counter the spell or destroy the target creature. But like there is one rule that you have to follow it before you use this card. You have to have more cards. The opponent has to have more cards in the graveyard than the cost of the spell that you want to destroy or counter, right? So let's say if the creature costs 4 mana, right? This one which you want to destroy from the opponent's battlefield, the opponent has to have 4 or more cards in the graveyard. But it's not hard in the middle deck. Like it will take you 2 rounds really or so, and then you can just target, counter or destroy wherever you want really. So it's great, and it's broken. I hate this card, but I love when I'm playing middle deck. Soaring Thief. This those English, that's being nice. But this is another human rogue, and it actually supports so well mill technique, and it supports another rogues as well because so well it cooperates with them. So basically, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard, all of your rogues on the battlefield will get +1 attack. This is great. Like imagine having 4 of them on the battlefield or whatever. Like, but it's so strong. So basically, when you have these cards on your battlefield, you can either mill your opponent, right, enemy, or you can destroy them. Usually, people who play mill decks, they have a lot of creatures on the battlefield, but the thing is that they are so weak. Like they have 1, 2 power, and that's it. But like with these cards, you can actually make them stronger and make the damage faster. And like they are flying, so you know it's hard to prevent this damage. So yeah, it's actually so strong. And also for the middle technique, this card makes the player to mill 2 cards if your rogue 1 or more is attacking, right? So it's actually easy as well to achieve. Brazen Borrower, it's a mythic card. It doesn't really support the mill technique, but it's just great to have in the blue deck, every blue deck I think, because it's adventure card. It costs only 3 mana, which is pretty low cost, like for the mythic card in my opinion. And like it's the creature cost, of course, 3 mana, and the adventure instant option costs 2 mana, and this is just basically typical blue card to return the target spell, permanent, whatever, to non-land permanent to the opponent's hand, right? So it's actually cool, but normally this kind of card, like to return target creature, costs only 1 mana, but in addition costs 1 more because of the adventure cost. And it's flying, and the creature is flying, so you know it has such annoying how it's called, the animation when it comes on the battlefield. Like, the downside of this card is that this card cannot block creature with flying. Oh, sorry, this card can block only creatures with flying, so that's the downside. That's the but that's of course it's logic because it has to have some limitations. Also, it's flash, so you can play wherever you want to. So it's pretty good card. Oh, I have only one. Yeah, Teferis tutelage, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's great card, type of the card to support the mill technique. But like, when it comes to the battlefield, you can draw a card and then discard another card, right? And then wherever you are drawing the card, your enemy is basically milling the card. And you know, I don't have any cards with to draw cards, so that's why it shouldn't be in this deck. But actually, it helped me a lot to 3 or even 2 copies on the battlefield. And there is one spell. There is one card where you can draw half of your deck. So basically, your enemy is dead. Nighthawk Scavenger. It doesn't support really like the mill technique, but it's more like for destroying. It's about to make damage to a player. Basically, the power of this creature is dependent how many different type of cards your opponent has in its graveyard, right? So let's say if your opponent has like 5 different type of the cards in the graveyard, then the power of this card is 6, which is sick. And it's great because it has flying, it has death touch and lifelink, everything what I love. And so yeah, so I think that costs only 3 mana. So it's pretty strong, really. Like, I think if you're playing Mold deck, you should have this card in your. Zarefsan the Trickster is also a broken card, and it's very good. It's also rogue, so it supports our rogue technique in the middle deck, and it's kind of complicated card. It's rare. It costs 5 mana and it's flash. And how it works? Okay, so basically when you're attacking with your rogues and the player, your opponent, is not blocking specific rogue, then you can like actually use it as the flash cost. It's 4 mana, and then you're returning this rogue which is unblocked to your hand, and then you're putting attacking Zarefsan on the battlefield, right? And this part sounds like pretty like okay, whatever, right? But the thing is that if actually the Zarefsan will make the damage to the player, then you can take whatever card you want from the opponent's graveyard to your battlefield. Let's imagine Eugene, I don't know how you pronounce it, guys, on your battlefield, like sick, you're like basically you won the game, right? So that's great card, like, and it's broken. Into the story. I forgot. I modified this deck. I have 4 cards for drawing the cards. So yeah, it's good card because it's inside. It costs 7 mana, but that doesn't matter really, because if your opponent has 7 or more cards in the graveyard, it costs 3 less, so it costs 4 mana. So it costs only 4 mana, and then you're drawing 4 cards for 4 mana. So really, it's great, and it supports the enchantment. Where is it? Of the Teferis. And there we have islands, swamps, and some of my rare lands. Actually, it's also from the Zendika Rising, which is great. This one is great. I know that people, like, when I was buying my how it's called, rare cards, like paper cards, right? I was really annoying when I was getting as a rare card fucking land, you know, because like, what the hell, land I don't, like, I can get from free. Literally, I have I can buy it for cents. But this one is pretty good because you can choose if you want to play, in this example, black or blue card, and it's not tap when it comes on the battlefield, which this like the, I don't know how it's called, the like two with these cards, like they're coming on the battlefield tapped, but they have like extra abilities like scry or life, or I think blue has not blue but red has damage. So no, it's pretty. This one is pretty good. And yeah, that's all. Yeah, I think I reviewed them so far.